Professionals who want to make a difference and create an impact in our community. Make your career merry and bright at Bethany. We're seeking RNs, LPNs, CNAs, dining services, and more. We offer a fun, professional environment with great pay, amazing benefits, and flexible hours. You can even earn up to a $7,000 sign-on bonus. Your future is bright at Bethany Retirement Living. Apply online at bethanynd.org.
Community-focused, conservative-minded. This is AM 1100 and 92.3 FM, WZFG, Dilworth, Fargo, Moorhead, USA. It's 4 o'clock.
Testing and vaccination. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. Those are the two main pillars of President Biden's updated COVID plan, including tighter restrictions for all travelers entering the U.S.
All inbound international travelers must test within 1 day of departure, regardless of their vaccination status or nationality.
He says at-home COVID tests will be covered by insurance beginning next month. And while he's not imposing any lockdowns or additional mandates, masks will now be required on public transportation until at least mid-March. Colorado becomes the third state with a case of COVID's new variant.
It is somebody who just traveled to Southern Africa and returned. She is experiencing mild symptoms and is isolating at home.
Governor Jared Polis also says she was fully vaccinated. Minnesota also announcing an Omicron case today, someone who had been in New York City for an anime convention just a few weeks ago. The president says a plan is in place to avoid a government shutdown, but it still needs to get through Congress. Fox's Jared Halpern is live on Capitol Hill.
The House is taking votes now on a short-term spending bill extending government funding in the mid-February. But the Senate must also act before a partial government shutdown late tomorrow night.
We're not going to shut the government down. That makes no sense for anyone.
The Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell is not backing an effort by some conservatives who are demanding a spending plan also block Biden administration vaccine requirements.
I don't think shutting down the government over this issue is going to get an outcome.
A handful of Republican senators say without a vote on defunding vaccine mandates, they will not allow fast-track action needed in the Senate to avoid a shutdown. Lisa.
Jared, thanks. The pendulum swings back again on Wall Street. The Dow up 617 points today. Oil prices getting back over $66 a barrel. America is listening to Fox News.
What can give you a competitive edge in today's red-hot housing market? Rocket can. That's because Rocket Mortgage can give you a verified approval. It could help your offer stand out. Because when you find the perfect home, you don't want to lose it to anybody else. Rocket Technology provides a rock-solid verification of your income, assets, and credit, giving sellers and their agents greater confidence in you. We've already helped over 1 million clients just like you reach their home financing goals this year alone. So remember this, what can help you buy the home you really want? Rocket can. Go to rocketmortgage.com or call us today at 8338-ROCKET. That's rocketmortgage.com or call 8338-ROCKET. Rocket.
A verified approval is based on an underwriter's analysis of your individual financial information appraisal and title report. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states and MLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
Florida might bring back a state defense force.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis announces proposed funding to reconstitute the Florida State Guard, a military readiness group of civilian volunteers that can be called upon to serve.
This funding will support the necessary training, equipment, and other support functions for up to 200 members who can aid in the response to hurricanes, natural disasters, and other state emergencies.
The State Guard is separate from a National Guard contingent and can't be federalized. The Florida State Guard was made inactive in 1947.
Fox's Evan Brown. A second chance for former Justice Department official Jeffrey Clark, who's facing a possible contempt case for failing to comply with a subpoena in the Capitol riot probe. Clark championed then-President Trump's efforts to reverse the 2020 election results. He refused to answer questions during a deposition last month. Now a second deposition is set for Saturday before a House committee decides on pursuing contempt charges. Carmine from Laverne and Shirley has died.
Eddie Mecca, who played Carmine, a.k.a. the Big Ragu on the sitcom Laverne and Shirley, has died at the age of 69.
You know I'd go from rags to...
His brother, Warren Mecchian, confirmed the news. However, he wasn't sure of the cause of death. His character was Shirley Feeney's boyfriend.
Ow, don't touch me.
That's funny. That's what you usually say.
Mecca also had roles on Fantasy Island, The Love Boat, and Family Matters. In 1975, he was nominated for a Tony Award for his role in The Lieutenant. Cindy Williams, who played Shirley, paid tribute to the actor on social media, tweeting, "My darling Eddie, a world-class talent who could do it all." Michelle Polino, Fox News.
3 NFL players, including Tampa Bay wide receiver Antonio Brown, are suspended immediately for 3 games for violating COVID protocols. They were accused of misrepresenting their vaccination status. I'm Lisa Brady. This is Fox News.
Mostly cloudy with light winds this evening. We'll have a wintry mix turning over to snow throughout the evening hours as well, coming to an end by about 8 or 9 o'clock. We could see up to about an inch of accumulation, and then just a slight chance for a few isolated snow flurries as we head into tonight. Otherwise, skies turning partly cloudy, dropping down to a low of 27. The winds pick up on Friday out of the northwest, 10 to 25, gusting to 35. We'll have a high in the upper 30s with sunny skies. From the Flag Skywatch Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Justin Storm.
Hurry into Menards right now to get the best tools and tool accessories from Masterforce. Masterforce accessories are tailored to do the job right the first time. With such a wide selection, you're sure to find the right one for you. Masterforce has everything from blades to bits and anything in between. Pick up and save on these tough and durable accessories, along with many more right now at Menards. Plus, a Menards gift card is always a great gift idea.
Warm season's greetings to you all from Menards. One more time, got me feeling so free. We're gonna celebrate and dance so free. One more time, this got me feeling so free. We're gonna celebrate.
The Chris Berg Show, where faith and freedom reign.
One more time.
Breaking news, the Omicron variant has hit the land of 10,000 lakes. Yes, the Omicron variant now in the state of Minnesota. Earlier today, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz was in Dilworth, so we got his, as far as I know, very first media reaction to Omicron being in Minnesota. So you're going to hear that initial reaction specifically, maybe even here first. I don't know what else you've listened to today, but you might be the first to hear it, so that's some good news. Plus, does Omicron know? Does Omicron, the new variant, know? I will explain. Welcome to the Chris Berg Show. Your daily dose of truth to help you not only survive, but thrive in today's, we'll call it wacko, crazy world, right? This is your daily dose of truth to help you thrive. Coming to you live from the PetroServe USA studio, helping you and America fuel better. If you're out and about driving today, please stop into your local PetroServe USA, grab some gas and some goodies, and whatever else will fill up your nice little tummy. We've got so much to get to today. So Minnesota Department of Health, they held a press conference earlier today and announcing the person who has now been diagnosed with the Omicron variant. So we'll give you a breakdown on that. Then again, Governor Walz in Dilworth, we asked him about this. You'll get a chance to hear his reaction. And then, of course, President Joe Biden, we told you about this yesterday, which, by the way, I may have been prescient yesterday in something I said. I'll explain when I get to the presser from President Biden earlier today, but I may have been prescient, and we'll have some fun with that as well. First, though, when I mentioned a moment ago, when I said, hey, does the new variant Omicron know? And let me ask it this way. Do you know, like right now, there's actually 3 cases in the U.S., right? Yesterday was California. Earlier today was Minnesota was announced, and then also Colorado. What do all 3 of those states have in common that have got the new variant, Omicron? They're all blue states. Does Omicron know, right? And what's amazing to me, if you think about California and Minnesota, I haven't looked extensively at the data in Colorado, obviously, but I'm assuming, knowing how blue or at least purple Colorado is, high vaccination rates there. High vaccination rates. You're going to hear something today from Governor Walz that I did not know, that shocked me when I heard the presser back later on about sort of what's happening in Minnesota as far as status on vaccination, status on need of healthcare workers, all that stuff. So we're going to break it all down for you. And again, get you the truth, because it is so hard to come by these days. Before we get to any of the sound bites, I want to share something with you that I think is going to be just a great foundation for our conversation today. How's that? Boy, it's so fun when I get to spend time with you in rhyme. By the way, a couple things. If you want to call into the show, Number to do so, 701-271-1100. So if you want to share your point of view on anything, I mean, I guess honestly, I should ask you, are you concerned that now the new variant Omicron is in Minnesota? Does it concern you? Are you fearful of that, or just like, whatever? 701-271-1100. Also, I have got two pairs of hoops tickets for tonight's Bison game. One, I'm told, is courtside seats or near courtside. One is maybe up in the stands a little bit more, but if you want to call in again, 701-271-1100, and you want some tickets to tonight's game, just let producer BG know, and she will get your information. You can come by here and grab those, I think. I don't know if the studio is still open that late, but we will figure. I think we're open until 5, so if you want to call in, get some tickets for tonight's game, you just got to be here before 5 o'clock to obviously pick those up. So let's get to what matters to you, and that is this. As we all know, we've got this new variant. Now, the actual doctor from South Africa that discovered this new Omicron variant, she wrote a piece for the Daily Mail, and I just want to give you some highlights here as we dive into the conversation as you continue to lose your freedoms in our nation. Because President Biden made some announcements today that, again, is taking away people's freedom. So Dr. Angelique Coetzee, I believe is how you say her name. I'm just going to give you some highlights from this piece that she wrote. You can go check it out on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Chris Berg Show. She says this, and I'm quoting, and let me be clear. Nothing I've seen about this new variant warrants the extreme action the UK government has taken in response to it. In other words, any of these governments, right? She says, no one here in South Africa is known to have been hospitalized with the Omicron variant, nor is anyone here believed to have fallen seriously ill with it. She also goes on to say, we've also become accustomed here to new COVID variants emerging, meaning in South Africa. So when our scientists confirmed the discovery of yet another, nobody even made a big deal about it. She says many people didn't even notice when this new variant came about. And this is what I love where she goes here, okay? Because you and I are told to follow the science, follow the science. It says here, as if, as some evidence suggests, Omicron turns out to be a fast-spreading virus with mostly mild symptoms for the majority of people who catch it, that would be a useful step on the road to, wait for it, herd immunity. So she's saying, hey, look, if this thing is as mild as we think it is right now, then good for us, because then we can all get to herd immunity and get through this thing that much faster, that much sooner. So that's from the woman that actually discovered it in South Africa. Now let's get into a little bit closer to home and what they're saying about the person here in Minnesota that has contracted the Omicron variant. I'm going to play from earlier today, a little bit from the press conference. I believe this is Minnesota Department of Health Commissioner Jan Malcolm.
In Minnesota. The person with the Omicron variant is an adult male, a resident of Hennepin County, and had been vaccinated. The person developed mild symptoms on November 22nd and sought COVID-19 testing on November 24th. The person's symptoms have resolved. The person spoke with MDH case investigators and reported traveling to New York City and attending the Anime New York City 2021 convention at the Javits Center.
So there was like 53,000 people at the Javits Center in New York City that this person was around. As you heard there, they contracted it, mild symptoms. But the key thing I think for you and I to take away from what Commissioner Malcolm just said, there's the person's fully vaccinated. Fully vaccinated, just like the person in California. And then later in the conversation with Commissioner Malcolm, somebody asked, so they're vaccinated, but do we also know if the person's taken the booster, right? Because you and I are continually told, hey, take the shot, take the boosters, that's your best protection. And yet so far, everyone here in the States that has it, I haven't seen much news on the Colorado person, but California, Minnesota, fully vaccinated, and the person in Minnesota actually got the booster in early November. So, I mean, maybe just a month ago, maybe even less than a month ago, person got the booster and still ended up coming down with this new variant. So, again, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz was in Dilworth earlier today. He was there to talk about the possibility of Dilworth getting a new fire station and some infrastructure. And of course, because this was breaking news earlier today. We asked him about the Omicron variant being in Minnesota. I'm going to play some of this conversation for his more of a press conference from earlier today.
Out in Hennepin County, do you have any comment to the rest of Minnesota?
Sure, I'll take an off topic on this. Yeah, well, first and foremost, it's not surprising that it showed up. It is an area that we need to show caution and concern around. We're learning more every day, but I do think it highlights one of the things that I pledged and with the help of the legislature on some of this of making sure Minnesota had the best testing system in the country. The reason that we found it first is because we do this better. California, us, and Massachusetts have the best. And what that allows us to do is it allowed us to find it sooner. It allowed us to contact trace. We know where this person got it. He got it at an anime event in New York City, a convention, and brought it back here. At first, we thought it was domestic. It could have been that was an international event, that's where that was picked up. I think what it does is it re-highlights nothing has changed in our approach to this, that the way out of this is get vaccinated, do your boosters. I'm incredibly proud. We're second in the nation in boosters.
Second in the nation in boosters? So let's just talk about this for a moment, right? They've done an incredible job in Minnesota to incentivize, coerce people to get their shots. I mean, Minnesota is one of the higher vaccinated states in the country. Now we just find out that they're second in the country as far as the percentage of people that have gotten the boosters. Second in the nation. With that being said, I want to share a couple things with you, and I'm going to hold off on one piece of data until you get a chance to hear my question for Governor Walz. But over the past 4 weeks, vaccinated people represent 41% of the new cases and 33% of the hospitalization. So fully vaccinated people, 41% of the cases, 33% of the hospitalizations over the last 4 weeks. And Minnesota is number 2 in the nation when it comes to the boosters, which again should show you that, hey, they shouldn't have this high, according to what you and I are told, hospitalization rates.
We got 5 to 11-year-olds. We're getting those done. And then be prudent when you're inside, masking, social distancing. And when you're outside, CDC shows that you're okay. We are still in a tough spot in the upper Midwest. We're in a tough spot in Minnesota. I'm proud to say I think we're going to announce this afternoon that there's going to be a third federal team coming. I asked the president when we were together on Tuesday to send us another one. And the hospital associate, if you talk to your hospitals, they're going to say where they're overwhelmed. We've got about 1,600 people in the hospital. I'm sorry to say we had another 72 deaths reported today. That's 250 in the last week. And so what Omicron does is that we don't know yet if it's.
So you've got a high vaccination rate. You're second in the nation in boosters. Why are you asking the President of the United States for a third surge of healthcare workers? Why are your hospitals overwhelmed if you are second in the nation when it comes to the percentage of people that are getting the booster shots? And my point is, if you and I are told that, hey, the vax works and these boosters are so effective at keeping people out of hospitals, how do you explain those data points? I don't know. I wish I would ask that question when I had them in front of me, but when you're there sometimes, at least for me, maybe my brain wasn't working fast enough.
More virulent. We don't know if it is, again, I would say in this case, this individual was vaccinated, was boosted, was not hospitalized, and as far as I know, has recovered. That's what the vaccinations do on this. They keep you out of the hospital, they keep you from death, but we yet don't know. So what I would my message to folks is, we've talked about early, we're going to have to understand how we manage through this as it still continues to come. This will not be the last variant, and that's not a doom and gloom perspective. That's just science. There will be another one. The question is, do they send more people to the hospital? Do they defeat our vaccines? And at this point in time, we simply don't know. But I'm just really proud that the state was on top of it.
I was on the call this morning with the Department of Health. He was boosted in early November. So what should people extrapolate from? He was fully vaccinated, he just got boosted and still got it.
He's not dead. That's what they should take from it. And he's not in the hospital.
So again, I wanted to save this piece of data for you because I think it's important. Okay. Governor Walz suggesting, hey, look, the beauty of this person that has been fully vaccinated, gotten the booster, is the fact that he's not dead, which praise God, he's not, right? Like we always say in the show, one person lost to COVID is one too many. The reason I bring this up to you is that 48% over the last 4 weeks in Minnesota, 48% of the deaths due to COVID, fully vaccinated. Fully vaccinated. So again, what does that tell you? I think it can tell you a lot. I think it should and could tell you a lot.
Doesn't mean he couldn't have been, and if he would have had age or underlying conditions. No vaccine is perfect. These are very, very good, compared to most that we've had in the past. But I think what they should extrapolate from this is we yet don't know. And again, I think you have to be very careful of being rational as you look at this, that there may be people that get Omicron and don't experience any more symptoms any worse than Delta. But what we know about viruses is each successive virus tries to outproduce the other one and be stronger than it. There have been other variants that have died out to Delta. We don't know yet if Omicron will replace that. But what you need to know is that the more antibodies you have, the more protections you have, the chances of getting very sick are incredibly small compared to that. And that still proves true. And as people
so
said,
when you hear him say that, folks, what do you think about? The more antibodies that you have, obviously the lesser chance you have of coming down with COVID, the lesser chance you have of getting sick. So what are the greatest antibodies out there? Is the natural immunity. Time and time again, that's what science is going to demonstrate, is that when you've got natural immunity, that's going to give you the strongest protection against getting COVID again or any of that stuff, way more so than any of these vaccines. And that's why now you even hear Dr. Fauci talking about the waning efficacy and effectiveness of these vaccines. That's why they continue now to pitch booster. My question to you is, when you find out that both the people, at least again, I haven't seen Colorado, but California, Minnesota, Omicron per people, both fully vaccinated. One of them, we know to Minnesota, even fully boosted. Does that give you more hesitation or less to get the vaccine? I'm curious, because when you hear that, hey, look, people are taking the vaccine, they're getting fully vaccinated, they're still getting the Omicron variant, you get to a point where you're kind of like, what's the point? Why would I go stick myself under a needle and it's not even really doing anything, unless you can say, hey, it's keeping people out of the hospital, which that's a tough sell to me when 33% of the hospitalizations in Minnesota are still fully vaccinated. Would love to know your point of view on that. We're going to have much more from Governor Walz when we come back. Plus, President Joe Biden spoke today, and he says the most common question he gets when he's out and about stunned me. It stunned me. So I'm going to play that for you as well later in the show. Number to call in, 701-271-1100, 701-271-1100. This is your daily dose of truth to help you thrive in today's world. The Chris Berg Show. Stay with us.
Your farm and business depends on a reliable source for energy. PetroServe USA is the customer-owned co-op committed to being a stable source of fuel for your equipment and propane to dry your grain. We have the capacity to make sure you never run out of fuel and to keep prices stable. Dependability, competitive prices, and exemplary service. That's PetroServe USA, helping America fuel better. PetroServe USA. Call today.
Go online to ThorBuildings.com. So when it's time to put the hammer down, build with Thor.
North Dakotans know a thing or two about energy and the environment. Our electricity rates are some of the lowest in the nation, and we are among only 17 states that meet all federal air quality standards. Coal has always been a big part of our energy success story. As the most resilient source of power, it keeps our electricity affordable and reliable, provides high-quality jobs, and boosts our economy. The coal industry in North Dakota accounts for more than 13,000 good-paying jobs and $5.4 billion in economic impact. Lignite also plays a pivotal role along with oil and gas revenue, providing nearly $1,600 per student to districts across the state. We know that to continue our regional prosperity, we need an all-of-the-above energy strategy that includes coal to make sure our homes and businesses have the electricity they need when they need it. Learn more at www.lignite.com.
There's very few things that are certain in this world, but if you spend more time in a sauna or hot tub, you will be better for it. Above the water, below the water.
That's right. Both increase your circulation, and when that's happening, good things are happening. Heat transfers in the body, heat proteins, and we could talk on and on and on, but you're better, like you said, below the water, above the water, and beyond the water.
Finleo Saunas, Hot Spring Spas. Hurry. Call 844-200-7727, online at hotspringspas and pooltables2.com.
People with chronic lower back pain have often tried lots of different things, and most of those things just don't work, and they're searching things that do work. Non-surgical spinal decompression is a type of treatment done with a specialized machine that has very high success rates, and we're lucky to be one of the few clinics in the entire state that has it.
My name is Sydney, and I had debilitating back pain for 11 years. I went into the clinic to receive treatment. After 8 treatments, I had been feeling much better. After those 8 treatments, I was back to playing volleyball, golf. Dr. Z at the clinic helped me get back to the sports that I love.
A research study performed on low back patients that had already failed medical, chiropractic, and physical therapy, in other words, the surgery group, had a 90% success rate with decompression treatment. So whether it's chronic lower back pain, sciatica, knee injuries from running, neck pain, headaches, or shoulder problems, the clinic can help. Find us at theclinicnow.com. That's theclinicnow.com. theclinicnow.com.
Whatever it takes, 'cause I love the adrenaline in my veins. I do whatever it takes, 'cause I love how it feels when I break the chains. Whatever it takes.
Welcome back to the Chris Berg Show, your daily dose of truth to help you thrive in today's sometimes just crazy world. Coming to you live from the PetroServe USA studio, helping you and America fuel better. Be sure and stop into your local PetroServe USA as you're driving around town, maybe even heading home from work later today. Again, if you're just joining us, the Omicron, the new variant, has been found now in Minnesota. One person down in Hennepin County. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz was in Dilworth earlier today, and so I had a chance to actually get his first, as far as I know, media reaction, if you will, to Omicron being in Minnesota. We've been playing some of the presser for you from earlier today. I want to continue with more of that so you can hear more from Governor Walz and his reaction to the new variant being in Minnesota.
Well, you're getting more and more people in the hospital who are vaccinated. That's because more and more people are vaccinated. So it's a larger universe and there's a smaller number. The fact of the matter is...
Don't you love it when they do that? Didn't you and I talk about this yesterday? Remember? This was the math that I told you that I could actually understand yesterday, because we played the clip about what was going on in South Africa. And many people were concerned that there was all of a sudden this surge in cases in South Africa. And everyone wanted to automatically attribute that to Omicron so that they can continue to run a media psyop on you, right? Psychological operation. We've talked about that before. And yet, what nobody's talking about is that what happened in South Africa is they actually had an influx, a bunch of antigen COVID tests that came to South Africa because they're not a wealthy country. They needed a way to test more effectively, easily, so they got a bunch of antigen tests. Well, just like Governor Walz says, guess what? When you go out and you start testing 1,000 people or more a day, of course, you're going to have more cases. That's just basic math. And thankfully, Governor Walz is now saying the same thing, but I think it's sort of antithetical when he says, hey, look, of course you're going to have more hospitalizations with vaccinated people because a lot more people are vaccinated. Well, then again, what's the point of taking the shot if you end up in the hospital anyways?
Overwhelmingly, the people who are in the hospitals, and more overwhelming, the people who are in ICU, are unvaccinated. So I think it just tells people that get this done, get it done now.
What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts regarding ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine as treatments?
Well, I follow the CDC rules on these things, and we're looking at it now. I know that we saw the CDC made a decision on the Pfizer antiviral, so those are the things that would go. I think we just need to stay in the space of science, know where things have worked. These are the most studied, and it's been 15 years in the making, these RNA vaccines. They work, and they're going there. And I think treating yourself on the side and other things, I would ask you to talk to your physicians, talk to healthcare professionals, let them know. The biggest thing on this that you want to do is you want to avoid getting this. The one thing I am glad to say is that in the federal government, I believe we announced this today, we have expanded our monoclonal antibodies, which are tested, are approved by CDC. They do work. And those are more available now for folks to be able to get those, and that'll continue to expand. So continue to test, take care of your family. You have to continue to live your life, but you do so in a responsible manner. And we know that November, December, it proved last time to be true, that we hope we start to see an ebb. It's not there yet, but we're starting to see some somewhat encouraging numbers on positivity.
Can we ask one last question?
So we got a person here watching the live stream that says, hey, how do they know it's the Omicron strain? That's like when a hurricane is developing in the ocean, they already have a name picked for that particular hurricane. Do we know that we had 1.7% less total deaths in 2020 than in 2019? So to answer this question, Rick, about how do we know it's the Omicron strain, good question, because I asked Governor Walz this today.
Sure.
So you guys had said on the call, found out about this at 4:30 p.m. yesterday. Why wait until this morning?
We had to verify with CDC. Our lab is certified. There's very few states that have the labs to do the genomic sequencing. We had that ahead of time, and we reinvested in that early on to have that. So we found it, I think, at about the same time they announced the one in California. And then we had to go to CDC. They did the second test on it. They verified that our results were right. So sometime about 1:30 last night, I got the call that said, we do have this. This is it. We're going to announce first thing in the morning. And I think it's to let people know. And I just want to be very clear. No one should be surprised. It's just that we have the capacity to test. It is probable, I would argue it's more likely that you'd see this in almost every state. It'll just mean how widespread it is. And the question will be, does it become the dominant variant? Is it, again, make people sicker? Does it defeat what we have in terms of the vaccine? And the vaccine manufacturers told us it'll take them about 60 days.
Listen closely here.
Maybe to get a better answer on all those questions. And then it'll take them about another 100 days to readjust a vaccine to be able to work with that. That's the beauty of these things, that they'll be able to tweak them to the variants that come. And I think many of you are starting to see this, that it looks like this. This will probably be a yearly occurrence, but hopefully at a lower level, much like flu, where we have to do that. It's not there yet. And again, I remind people, 72 Minnesota.
Remember yesterday, we played for you the soundbite. He was on CNBC, CEO of Pfizer, and the gentleman at CNBC goes like, hey, look, not that you want to have this take place for your company, which of course Pfizer does, but it becomes like an annuity. It looks like you're going to be asking people to take shots every single year. And yes, the CEO from Pfizer said, yeah, that's exactly what I've been saying now for quite some time. And now you've got Governor Walz seconding that, saying, hey, based on what we're seeing right now, based on the information, based on what we can do to help Pfizer stock and Moderna stock, it looks like this is going to be an annual shot similar to the flu shot. So again, what are we saying here? What is he saying here? Because if you're getting vaccinated and we've got this high of hospitalization rates and death rates, right, in Minnesota right now over the last 4 weeks, and now he's suggesting it's going to be an annual thing like the flu shot, I'll let you piece those together. Because when we come back, yesterday's show, we talk a lot here on the Chris Berg Show about helping you see around the corner. So important with what's coming now, that you're able to see the patterns ahead of time about what's coming next. Yesterday was I prescient on the show because President Joe Biden may have seconded it earlier today. We're going to take you out to the Joe Biden presser. He said some things that were absolutely shocking that I want to make sure you get a chance to hear. And then what happened. Let me leave it at that because you want to stick around. Number to call into the show, 701-271-1100, 701-271-1100. I want to remind you, if you want some tickets to the NDSU basketball game tonight, we've got a few minutes here if you want to swing by and grab those tickets. We've got some that are courtside, some that are up in the stands. But if you want to go check out some live hoops tonight, just give us a call, 701-271-1100. We'll get you those ticks. Stay with us. Much more coming up right here on The Chris Berg Show.
Mostly cloudy with light winds this evening. We'll have a wintry mix turning over to snow throughout the evening hours as well, coming to an end by about 8 or 9 o'clock. We could see up to about an inch of accumulation, and then just a slight chance for a few isolated snow flurries as we head into tonight. Otherwise, skies turning partly cloudy, dropping down to a low of 27. The winds pick up on Friday out of the northwest, 10 to 25, gusting to 35. We'll have a high in the upper 30s with sunny skies. From the Flag Skywatch Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Justin Storm.
Diamond earrings, diamond pendants, diamond bracelets, ruby rings, sapphire rings. Come to a cutting edge. The holiday season is here, and the way this works, the more you buy, the more you save. You get 20% off the first piece, 25% off of 2, 30% off of 3 or more. If you want to spoil the lady in your life, now is the time to do it. Birthday, anniversary, Christmas, you can take care of all of them. And don't forget Valentine's Day. A cutting edge, 4507 33rd Avenue South, Fargo.
Shop local, buy local, save big deals.
Hey, it's Jenny from your local Big Deal store. Can I let you in on a little shopping secret? give a gift of a gift certificate. People love getting gift certificates. When you're making your purchase on big deals, simply check the gift box icon and we'll send you a giftable certificate. Save money and time with a little help from your Big Deal store.
Surprises are great on your birthday or when your bags actually get to your destination. But when it comes to your tax return, the team at Haga Comer believes that boring is beautiful. Haga Comer will find all available deductions and tax credits, and when it comes to your business, they'll help you plan ahead, discussing tax law changes and how they directly affect your organization. So call Haga Comer and leave the surprises to the bag of food you get in the drive-thru lane. Haga Comer, online at hagacomer.com.
Mike Lindell has done it once again. A MyPillow for $19.98. Are you kidding me? That's right. Mike Lindell has an amazing offer for our listeners on his standard MyPillows. A standard MyPillow, regularly $69.98, is now only $19.98. There's all kinds of deep discounts right now on all MyPillow products. The MyPillow towels, the sheets, the mattress toppers, the slippers, and so much more. Just go to MyPillow.com, click on that radio listener square, and get this deal, $19.98 for Mike's standard MyPillow, or call 800-506-9028. Just use the promo code Scott at mypillow.com or call 800-506-9028. Made in the USA, comes with a 10-year warranty. You know it's going to last, and a 60-day money-back guarantee. Nothing to lose. Go to mypillow.com, promo code Scott, or call 800-506-9028 right now. mypillow.com, promo code Scott, or call 800-506-9028.
For decades, Nodak Insurance Company has been serving our state's residents in good times and challenging times. We come together for the greater good, from simple acts of kindness to company-wide efforts that make a difference in our community. It's who we are, rooted in North Dakota and ready to serve when it matters most. Nodak Insurance Company, agents with answers.
Pressure pushing down on me, pressing down on you. No man has fallen under pressure. The crazy building down, strips of family and two, puts people on streets.
Love when producer BG just happens to nail the music. I mean, how many of you right now in your life just can feel the pressure? That's why we talk about here on the Chris Berg Show being this oasis of freedom. There's no greater feeling, in my opinion, than feeling free. That's why every day here on the Chris Berg Show, we want to be your daily dose of truth to help you not just survive right now in these crazy times and to actually thrive. Go out there and thrive in your life, because as we've talked about before, when you and I come together, when we actually come together and say, we will not comply, you and I start winning. The question is that going to happen as well? And we're going to talk about this in the next segment, but is that going to happen as well when it comes to what's going down with NDSU? I'm sure you've seen the news now. NDSU says, yes, we're going to force our employees here to take the shot. We're too concerned about losing out in the millions and millions and millions of federal dollars. So we're going to force our employees to take the shot at NDSU. And I'm hearing that there's some ruckuses going on over at NDSU. People not happy about it. They cannot afford to lose more and more workers, and especially now that you've got these lawsuits that have said, no, you cannot mandate these shots. You just can't do it. Federal contractors, OSHA, healthcare workers. So coming up at the end of the show, our call to action today, which we'd love to do here on the Chris Berg Show, is we're going to invite you to reach out to President Prashani and let him know your point of view and the fact that he has now mandated these COVID shots. We're coming to you live from the PetroServe USA studio, helping you in America fuel better. Want to remind you, PetroServe USA has got the delicious 4 for $4. You get 4 items for just $4. You can go in there, you get these beautiful little pizzas. Sometimes they've got these great breakfast pizzas there that are just delicious. 20-ounce soda. And then, of course, things that I just love at PetroServe USA, but 2 of their outstanding, delicious cookies. So as you are getting hungry sometimes when you're driving around, just stop into your local PetroServe USA and grab the old 4 for $4. It's inexpensive, but yet just delicious, delicious food. All right. So was I prescient yesterday on the show as we talk about Saint Fauci. This is Joe Biden earlier today. And I just want to have some fun with this. And then we're going to dive into some of the other things that he said that were just jaw-dropping to me. But he started off the day saying this.
I've seen more with Dr. Fauci than I have my wife. We kid each other, but they look, who's president? Fauci. But all kidding aside.
Is that kidding aside? Because I said yesterday when I referred to him, I was like, oh, President Fauci. And I caught myself. I was like, oh, wait a second. I mean, Dr. Fauci, because sometimes you wonder who's actually running the show. As there's all this conversation around the COVID shots and vaccines, many of you out there are parents, grandparents, and I'm very curious for you yourself personally, or anybody that you know, as you're going out and about in your life and talking to family, talking to friends, do you have a lot of people, or anybody for that matter, that's asking you about, hey, when can my 3-year-old, when can my 4-year-old get the COVID shot? Is anybody asking you that question? Is anybody walking up to you and going, gosh, you know what? I'm losing sleep over things right now because I know they say it's okay for the 5 to 11-year-olds to take the shot, but boy, I've got a 3-year-old or a 3-year-old grandson, and I just cannot sleep at night because I need to get my 3-year-old this COVID shot. I got to get him the COVID shot. I mean, I had 0 people walk up to me and even remotely breach that conversation. And yet today, the President of the United States said this.
Continue to expand. We know parents of children under the age of 5 are wondering when the vaccine will be available for the little ones. That's the question I most get often asked now.
Really? Is anybody asking that question?
At functions. We had a function celebrating Hanukkah and the Christmas and various things at the White House. The parents coming up to me are saying, I have a 3-year-old. Is there going to be a time am I going to be okay? Is she going to be okay? Or he going to be okay? And let me say this, I strongly support.
I mean, look, we all love our kids, but I struggle to believe this anecdote that anyone's walking up to the President of the United States and going, hey, I got a 3-year-old. I got to get them. I got to put this thing in their bodies. Really?
Support the independent scientific review of vaccine usage for children under 5. We can't take shortcuts with that scientific work, but I'll do everything in my power to support the FDA to do this safely and quickly as possible when we get to around that point. Vaccinating our children is also critical to keeping our schools open. But while over 99% of our schools are open now, we need to make sure that we keep that throughout the winter, this winter. The CDC is now reviewing pioneering approaches like we call test to stay policies.
Man, now they're going to be testing all the kids as they walk into the schools to make sure they can actually stay in the school. So there you've got President Joe Biden suggesting that parents are clamoring for a shot for their kids that are less than 5. That is really hard for me to believe. If you've got people that are asking you the same thing, please let me know. Number to call into the show, 701-271-1100. Again, 701-271-1100. Then let me share this with you. This just broke this afternoon. So we're just talking about kids now taking the shot, right? And there's in my opinion, based on the conversations I'm having with people, I mean, there is a ton of vaccination hesitation in our nation when it comes to our little ones. Now, just to add to that, just in, at Breaking 911 on Twitter, just in, Health Department in Maryland says they gave dozens of kids expired COVID vaccines. We deeply regret the error and we apologize. So here you go. We've got young kids that, again, I've played for you clips many times in this show of actual doctors saying there is absolutely zero evidence. There is zero evidence that shows that we should be jabbing our kids. Like there's just, the trials they're not long enough. We haven't seen enough evidence. There's just no really well done research that shows that that's a good idea. And now that the FDA has approved it, right? Because we all knew they would. Got to make sure that Pfizer stock goes up and that Moderna stock. The Health Department of Maryland says, oh, my bad. I'm sorry. We gave the wrong shots to your kids 5 to 11. So what does the CDC say? So think about this for a moment. You've just ingested something into your son or daughter that really is still under the emergency use authorization, right? You've just put that into your son or daughter. We don't know long term what the impact's going to be, that you've just ingested this quote unquote foreign substance into a young person's body. They're not fully developed. And so what does the CDC tell these parents to do after they got the wrong COVID shot? CDC says, oh, you know what? It's okay. Just all we're going to recommend is just go get revaccinated. Just go put more stuff into your son or daughter's body and you'll be fine. No, nothing to see here. It's shocking to me. And that's the story where, yes, the CDC is now suggesting, hey, you know what? I know we gave you the wrong shot, but just go take another one and you are going to be just fine. Okay. Thanks, CDC. One of the restrictions I think that is important to note is it's going to be in regards to travel. I want to play a little bit more about that for you from Joe Biden from earlier today, because there are some things happening down at the southern border that's not getting any attention, but I think are really, really interesting and important for you and I to know, because I think it also shows just how bad the polling is for Joe Biden. But here's Joe Biden earlier today breaking down some more of the freedoms he wants to take away from people.
Well, I'm announcing today that all inbound international travelers must test within 1 day of departure, regardless of their vaccination status or nationality. This tighter testing timetable provides an added degree of protection as scientists continue to study the Omicron variant. And we are extending the requirement, both internationally and domestically, to wear masks for travel on aircraft, trains, public transportation through the winter months. I'll close with this. Again, the actions I'm announcing are ones that all Americans can rally behind and should unite us in the fight against COVID-19.
So I wanted to play this for you. And it's just sometimes the days just get away from you. But also Joe Biden at one point in his speech today says, you know, I just cannot get over how divisive this COVID has become in our nation. Like we should be coming together against COVID, not dividing ourselves. I'm like, Joe, you stood up on September 9th and basically shamed unvaccinated people. You yourself said, I can understand why you're so frustrated with the 80 million rubes that have not taken the shot yet. When the president of the United States stands up and basically shames 80 million Americans, then you wonder why we're divided. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. My point to you in bringing all this up is that Joe knows he's in trouble. He knows that things do not look good in 2022. And it's like I shared with you yesterday, and I will continue to share this with you because, folks, right now it seems, producer BG just did a great job playing the song Under Pressure. And I asked you, hey, do you feel like you're under pressure? There's no doubt all of us feel like we're under pressure. That's why I brought up the piece about NDSU. Think about the employees there now that are concerned about, hey, am I going to take the shot and keep my job, or do I not take this emergency youth authorization shot and go find something else to do? That is a very tough decision. I've been there. I've done it. It's not easy. It's extremely, extremely stressful. And what I'm asking us to do right now as a community is to do what you can to have each other's backs. And what do I mean by that is look out for your friends, look out for your neighbors, look out for your family members. And I'm saying that, folks, because the pressure that you and I feel right now is nothing compared to what's coming. I mean, it is nothing compared to what's coming. Look how fast things have changed in just 11 months in this country. January 21st is when Joe Biden took over. Look how fast things have changed. And yeah, Krista says, hey, stressful is an understatement for what people are feeling right now. I bring all this up, and I mentioned this yesterday, because when they see how bad the polling is for Joe Biden and the Democrats, and they know that there's a very good chance that they're going to lose the House of Representatives in 2022, remind yourself, where does impeachment start? It starts in the House. They lose the House. Please tell me we all know the Republicans are going to try to impeach this guy, right? I mean, the things that have happened are just unbelievable, from Afghanistan to the border to obviously now what's happening with this vaccination situation. And I share this with you because I mentioned the border a moment ago. One of the things that's not being reported, but I think is very important for you to know. Remember how President Trump put in place the Remain in Mexico program for asylum seekers? I mean, President Trump did a masterful job with Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador. They call him AMLO down in Mexico. Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador. Yes. So when he did a masterful job creating what's called the Remain in Mexico program. So if you're an asylum seeker and you want to come to the United States, that's fine. But guess what? You gotta wait in Mexico. You got to wait in Mexico before we're actually going to hear your asylum case, before we're going to adjudicate it. And when President Trump did that, remember what they said about him? Xenophobic, race. I mean, you can go on down the list, right? Well, today it was announced that the Biden administration has now cut a deal with Mexico and President Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador to now reinstate the Remain in Mexico program. So that is huge, good news for the United States of America. And it shows you just how poorly Joe Biden and his policies are performing in our great nation. All right, when we come back, I want to play a little bit more for you from Governor Walz talking about inflation. Also, we're going to give you the information you need if you want to reach out to NDSU President Dean Bershani and share your point of view with him in regards to how he is forcing NDSU employees to take the shot, even though we've now had 3 different federal judges say no to the different mandates across this country. If you want to call into the show and share your point of view, very easy to do. Number 701-271-1100, 701-271-1100.
Are you ready for winter? At Berg Ace Hardware, they know winter can be a mental grind, so they make sure to have everything you need to be ready for the season. They're fully stocked with snow shovels, ice melt, and Aaron's and Ego snow blowers. And when it comes to Christmas, they have you covered with unlimited gift ideas. And the best part, there's a Berggraff's Ace close to you, with locations in Fargo, West Fargo, Moorhead, Grand Forks, and Foston. Berggraff's Ace Hardware, the helpful place.
'Tis the season for client gifting. This year, the elves at Grateful Craples are ready to take the stress of gifting off your shoulders. Just think, no building boxes, no long post office lines. Simply choose your gift set, send us your spreadsheet, and we'll take it from there. We are currently booking 2021 gifting dates. Call Danny at 532-1630, visit us online at gratefulcrapefuls.com, or stop by our showroom at 300 Cheyenne Street in West Fargo today.
From too much moisture to not enough. We've seen quite a range of weather these past few years. And although we don't know what the next growing season will look like, we do know that there are options to help mitigate against risk. A multi-peril crop insurance policy through Egg Country Farm Credit Services gives you peace of mind while protecting your bottom line. Turn to the experts in every field. Contact Egg Country Farm Credit Services today.
Would you like to get back that full head of hair from years past? Introducing Reveal from GCNLife.com. Beverly Hills dermatologist Dr. Nathan Newman invented Reveal, which contains polypeptides with natural botanicals and no parabens, sulfates, silicones, or dyes for a salon-quality hair growth product. Reveal. Here's Dr. Newman.
I have treated a lot of patients who lose their hair and they lose their confidence. We've created a unique set of polypeptides, which we call HPT6. The HPT6 contains the polypeptides from 6 different plants. The scalp infusion treatment should be used on wet or dry scalp. The Reveal hair care system is designed to be used for men and women alike.
Reveal is not available in stores. There is a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you don't have anything to lose to return to that full head of hair you once had. So try Reveal today at GCNLife.com. There's a preferred customer discount up to 25% off as well for Reveal at GCNLife.com.
I'm Jeff Bradall.
And I'm Eddie Christian.
We're the hockey guys. And then you look at Coach Territory. Again, I love those players, Ed, because I think and I were them. We were those players that were a 2 or 3 or 4 year junior player just to get a chance to play college hockey.
Yeah, my son went through it. Got a little frustrated with
not opportunity, but then ended up going to college at 22, and leadership and all that stuff comes here.
The Hockey Guys, heard right here, Saturday mornings at 8 on The Flag.
You got me running, going out of my mind. You got me thinking that I'm wasting my time. Don't bring me down.
No, we're not going to bring you down here on the Chris Berg Show. Remember, the Chris Berg Show, this is your daily dose of truth to not only help you survive, but actually thrive right now in these, what many would dub as these crazy, crazy times that we live in. Hold on, folks. We're just getting started. Trust me, 2022, we ain't seen nothing yet. I mean this with all sincerity because I love you. And some of you I know, I don't know you, you're like, but I do. I mean, the fact that you listen to the show, you and I are like-minded. I love who you are. I love what your heart's about. And we're going to need to stick together in 2022. And I mean that just from like, hey, I got your six. I'm going to take care of you. If you need something, reach out to the show. We'll do what we can to support you, whatever it might be, because things are going to get crazy in 2022. Krista says on the live stream, hey, it's not about the employees meeting for NDSU. It's about their grant money. I'm so frustrated. Once an essential employee reporting to work every day since the beginning, now jab or go by January 4th. Full vaccination is mandatory. Told must have first jab by the 7th. I mean, that's what, next Monday, I think? I mean, it's second by the 14th to keep the job. It's just, so here's what we'd like you to do. All right, this is very serious for thousands and thousands of people across the great state of North Dakota. Again, you've already had 3 federal judges say, no, you cannot mandate these shots. I've said this to you a million times, and please think about this. If you don't have autonomy, if you don't have the right over your own body, what does that make you? If you don't have the rights over your own body, what does that make you? And we don't want to have any of that in this state of North Dakota. So if you want to contact President Dean Bershani up at NDSU and share your point of view with him, we are going to put the email up on our live stream. You've got the phone number there is 701-231-7211. Again, 701-231-7211. And the email, this is a little bit challenging, but again, it's up on our live stream, but it's ndsu.presidents.ofc@ndsu.edu. Again, I know that's a little bit challenging over the radio, but just think ndsu.presidents.ofc@ndsu.edu, or just Google it. It's very easy to find. The point is, please reach out to President Dean Bershani and tell him whatever it might be. And you may be totally pro jab. That's fine. That's, again, wow, what a novel idea in America. You've got a choice. You can choose what you think is best for you and your family. I'm just inviting you to go and email and contact President Dean Bershani and let him know your point of view on the fact that this can impact thousands and thousands of people here in the great state of North Dakota. It's extremely stressful to go through. For anybody that is having to bump up against this decision, my heart goes out to you because I know how difficult it can be. If it's any solace to you, if you're going through this, I will be praying for you. I hope that you're saying your prayers about it, and just know that God may have an even better plan in store for you. Look at me. I didn't know what I was going to do. Started praying about it. All of a sudden, God just started opening up doors. And now here I am where I get a chance to spend an hour with you every day rather than 30 minutes on TV. My cousin, same thing. My cousin was bumping up against this decision. By the grace of God, incredible door opens for her. And now things are even bigger and better for her as well in her life. So sometimes you bump up against these things and you just got to trust. You just got to trust. I've been studying the book of Matthew lately. So if you check out like Matthew chapter 10, where it talks about, hey, you know what? I take care of sparrows. I got you. I know all the hairs in your head. I got you. Just trust me, right? I've said this before. It's like when Peter got out of the boat, he was staring at Jesus. As soon as he took his eyes off Jesus, guess what? Peter was no longer walking on water. So just keep your eyes on Jesus. You'll be okay. He will take care of you, and let us know if we can help you out or support you in any way. Please go to our social spots. You can go to facebook.com/Chris Berg Show. We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram and our Telegram as well. Have a great day. We have an amazing Feel Good Friday for you tomorrow.